Hi, and welcome. We're going to teach you a little more about playing lead guitar. Our last session, we introduced you to the pentatonic scale, number 1, the most common pentatonic scale, which is that one I was just playing with. 1, it's 4-1, 4-1, 3-1, 3-1, 3-1, 4-1. So how do you use it? We talked a little bit about that. We were just playing a rock song, and so the way you know where to be with pentatonic scale 1 is based on the root note, or the, if you go up your neck, we talked about this before, but this is F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. So we were here in C. We were in the key of C, a rock song in C. So just, you're in a rock song in C, go to that C fret. It's the same fret that the very popular bar chord, this popular bar chord goes all the way up the neck. F, G, A, B, C, C. So we're at the 8th fret. And I'm playing on a pentatonic scale 1. I could do a riff. Let's say I did this riff. What I did was 4-1, 4-1, 3-1, 3. Something like that is what I just did there. 4-1, 4-1, 3-1, 3-3. Something like that. I could do another riff. That was out of that scale. I just went 3-1, 3-3-1, 3. 3-1, 3-3-3-1, 3-1. That's the root note. When you end a little run with a root note, which is this is a root note, this is a root note, this is a root note. When you end on a root note, it always pops, you know. Elvis used to do that thing with Heartbreak Hotel. He was doing a double note. 1-4-1. That's Heartbreak Hotel. And that's another technique, is double notes. There's a lot of double notes in that first pattern, and that can also be a technique you can use. Chuck Berry used that. That's Johnny Be Good. But he's taking the pentatonic. There's 2 doubles out. He's sliding into it. That's another technique, is sliding. But look at all those double notes you have in that first pentatonic scale. 2 double notes there, there, there. So if I was playing Johnny Be Good with the pentatonic scale 1, I would just do double notes, because that's kind of the sound. Go, 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 Johnny, go, I said go. Go, Johnny, go, I said go. I said go. See, I'm just doing double notes in that pentatonic scale. 2nd and 3rd string together. So those little techniques you add enhance it. You can also do bends, where you bend the string. Now see, I could just play my notes like that, and it's going to sound kind of stale. But if I do something, a bend occasionally, I'm just bend, you're pushing the string. And with any techniques, it's real important to emote the technique rather than just do it to show off. Like, there's some guitar players that play to be heard, and there's some guitar players that play to be felt. A guitar player that plays to be heard will want to show you off his technique, like, oh, look how fast I can play, look how great I can play. And those are the guys that are always like, and they're doing these quick runs, and they want to impress you, and their testosterone, is off the charts. But other players can play a couple notes and you feel it. I just saw B.B. King play a couple weeks ago in Los Angeles. He's 88 years old. He couldn't really maybe run notes like, maybe in his youth he would do the pentatonic scale. That was a quick run of triplets. Triplets of 3 notes in a row. I went like this. And I did it really quick. Something like that is what I just did. But he'd do less notes, but he would do bends. He would end a lot on his root note. He'd back up the end going like this. So he sometimes just hit the root note. And it sounded good. he always ended on the root note sounded good. He did a lot of vibrato too, which is where your finger kind of vibrates on the string like vibrato. See how my fingers moving? The tone. See when I kind of moving, vibrating the hand, it adds a whole different tone to it. That was his technique. Now, I mentioned in another session, but just for review, so when you're on a rock blues song, just do your pentatonic scale 1 on the fret of what key you're in. Now, if it's a slow song, have your pinky on the root note instead. So Steve's, my friend here who's taping, sees if Steve could give me more of a love song in C, something like this. This is an old doo-wop progression. C. A lot of songs have used this pattern. Sleepwalk, Unchained Melody, Justin Bieber's Baby Baby. They all use the C, A minor. It's called a 1-6-4-5 F G. Now I'm doing pentatonic 1 at the 5th fret instead of the 8th fret. See how I ended on there? That's a C note. There's a root note. See how nice that's in on? Now notice I was doing the pentatonic, but I was in the 5th fret instead of the 8th because it was a slower song. And so if you're wanting to play by ear to a song you like, a record on something on the radio, something on your iPod, find the key you're in first. So sometimes that's a matter of just literally going up the neck with your first finger until you kind of find the root note that sounds like it's the right key, and then experiment. Try that pentatonic scale 1, and if it sounds off, try, move into a fret until you find it, and once you find it, you can improvise. Now, I'm going to show you real quick. We won't have time to go through them all in depth, but I want to show you how they all fit together. There's actually 5 pentatonic lead patterns, because some of you may wonder, okay, well, I'm limited if I just know pattern 1. True. But I played a lot of years as a kid when all I knew was pattern 1, but I figured out a way to really make it work. One trick is the guitar repeats octaves every 12 frets. So if I'm in pattern 1 and it's working, I can do a cool lead and just go up 12 frets and duplicate it, and most of the audience will go nuts and think, wow, that kid knows his way all around the neck, when you're just doing the exact same thing because you just went 12 frets higher. For instance, let's say I'm an F. Could you give me some F, a rockin' F, Steve? Pattern 1 pentatonic, right? Now 12 octaves opposite, that's going to repeat, so that would be 1 plus 12 is what? 13, right? 13th fret, here we go. The crowd's like, wow, he's all the way up there, but I'm doing the exact same thing. So if you're on an acoustic guitar like this, you're going to have problems getting up too high. But if you have a cutaway acoustic or an electric, you can get up even higher. So if you're in G, you can do pattern 1 at the 3rd fret and the 15th fret going up 12. But there are patterns that go up the neck. But I would make sure you memorize a pattern before learning the next one. Memorize and play that thing to death until you really know it and can do it in your sleep. So before you do pattern 2, learn pattern 1. But just so you know, there's a second pattern that follows pattern 1. Here's pattern 2. Now, whenever you go to the next pattern, the lowest notes in the preceding pattern are the top notes in the next pattern. For instance, pattern 1 is 1-4 here. This becomes the next note in pattern 2, which is 2-4, 2-4, 1-4, 1-3, 1-4, 1-3, 2-4. When I think about it, I do this so right-brained and intuitively. When I think about it, sometimes I mess up. 2-4, 1-4, 1-3, 1-4, 1-3, 2-4, 2-4, 4-2, 4-2, 3-1, 4-1, 4-1, 4-2. There it is. That's pattern 2. But you can see that these notes here are the top pattern for this one. Top notes for this one. So once you learn pattern 2, now could you give me a rockin' F again? I'm in pattern 1. I just slid into 2. You see that? Back in pattern 1. Now I got a lot more range, don't I? Because I got 2 patterns going. There's pattern 2. Now, now learn 1 and 2 before learning 3, but just so you can see the bottom notes and by the way, usually when you slide from one pattern to the next, for whatever reason, the 1st and 6th strings tend to be a good place to slide. Like, see how seamless that was? I went from 1-4, pattern 1, into 2-4 here, pattern 2. Now I just slid into the next one. This is pattern 3. Now pattern 3 is 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. You got to go back. This one's a little awkward because then you got to go back a fret for 1-4 here, then slide up a fret for 1-4 here. So it's like 3-1, 4-1, then adjust back a fret 4-1, then 3-1, 3-1, 3-1. Now pattern 3 has a really easy, nice run because the first 3 strings, the bottom 3 strings are 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. So there's a lot of stuff there. Some players will even bar and just, it's so easy. Just 1-3, 1. Then it gets awkward. You go back there, 1-4. So now, give me a rockin' F, Steve. I'll show you. I'm pattern 1 now. Pattern 2. Now, by the way, these are all the same notes. All these patterns are duplicating the exact same notes. It's just your fingering are changing because you're in a different place in the neck. Now I'm into 3. Back to 2. But this is overwhelming if you try to, do it all at once. So, like I say, learn 1 until you have it memorized. Then learn 2 and how it fits to 1. Then when you learn 1 and 2, learn 3. Learn them one at a time. Your goal is that you can do them up and down the neck, have all 5 of these memorized. Now, 1-3, the bottom note in 3 is here. That's the first note in the next one, which I think is 1-4, 1-4, 1-3, 1-3, 2-4, 1-4. That's 4. One four, is it 1-4, 1-4, 1-3, 1-3, 2-4, 1-4. Now I'm going to do patterns 1 through 4. Let's start again. Pattern 2 now. 3 now. Pattern 4 now. That's kind of a double note bend. Playing a couple strings together with a bend. Back to the 3, 2, 1. Now I'm in the last one, number 5, which is 4-2-4-2. Pattern 5 is like a bookend. You got 2-4-2-4 on the bottom 2 strings, then 2-4-2-4 on the highest 2 strings, with a 1-4-1-4 in the middle. So it's 2-4-2-4, 1-4-1-4, 2-4-2-4. So let's go back to our F chord, Steve. Here's pattern 5. I'm having a lot of fun right there because I got those 2-2-4s together, so I can just really do a lot there right there. 4, now pattern 4, into 5. So what do you think happens after 5? You guessed it, it goes back to 1. Because every 12 frets it repeats, so now pattern 13, back to 1. I don't know if I can get up this high, but there's 2, back to. That's about as high as I can get on here. But when you can get up real high like this, for whatever reason, it's a real crowd pleaser. They love when you can get up there. Back to 1 at the 13th fret. When you first start playing with these patterns, you know, it will sound like you're running patterns at first. I mean, most people when they first learn these patterns, their lead sounds like this. Because it takes a while to kind of get the feeling of putting pauses in there. Like, for instance, I did a lick earlier where I went something like this. Faster, it was. But there was a big pause in that lead. I went 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, 1. I would probably have someone doing chords for a while. I just let that root note sing, you know. So putting pauses in, doing those bends, doing those double notes, all that helps. Vibrato. All helps a lot. Now, but when you first learn and once you get to the point where you've learned all 5, it can feel like you're just playing the pattern from one to the other, and sometimes you lose that sense of fluid sliding kind of thing. So I have a exercise to help you get a little more fluid of a feel, and if so, you could give me again that kind of nice slow Steve C, A minor, something like that, even if it's not exact, F. I'm going to give you an exercise. This is another thing for you to do, is to pick a string. Let's pick, say, the 2nd string, and just slide and find all your good notes on one string, at the most 2, but let's try just 1. Let's try your 6th. See what I'm doing? I'm just on one string. Do that with... Just pick a song you like, any song, a radio, you know. Put on a song you like, a CD, a TV, whatever. And do single string leads, it really helps you get a feeling of sliding up and down the neck. The more you do it, you'll just start to internalize, almost feel which fret will work. That was on the second string. Now keep going, Steve. I'll do it on the first string. Now I've been doing this long, so you can tell I'm hitting good notes, but at first you may hit some bad notes, but just slide into the good one. Don't be go. Now I'm not doing any patterns. I'm just finding the good notes. And that gives that feel of sliding, which is nice. Sometimes when you first learn the patterns, you're so used to going horizontal with the pattern that you lose this vertical sense of the guitar. Now I'm on the second string. Third string. Fourth string. Fifth string. So, and you can do that with all your strings. And of course, you can also steal leads off famous lead players by tablature. Just find a lead guitar part on a song you like, and then just Google the title of the song in tablature until you find. Sometimes they'll, have, like if I went like this, the tablature would be 3, 5, 7, 8 on the first string. It gives you the fret number, and you can learn a lot of great leads by just tablatures. And the more you learn other people's leads, the more it helps you get a sense of different leads. And you can always steal their leads or parts of their leads. A good lead player is like the farmer said, milk 100 cows and make your own butter. You'll pick up little leads from different songs, and it kind of goes in your subconscious, and you pull it out when you're playing your own lead. Like for instance, that Chuck Berry did that thing I was referencing earlier, that great double note thing. Now I might not do that exact, but sometimes I'll be doing a lead, and I will put in a little. It's just something like that was influenced by him. So the more you learn even tablature of famous leads, you can steal those, techniques. And everybody steals from everybody else, Miles Davis said, good musicians borrow, but great musicians steal. In other words, your lead playing gets better if you learn the leads of a lot of other great players and then put it in your storehouse, and then that'll become a part of something you do. You won't do it exact, but I've learned little riffs from various songs that I then use in a new way in a new song. When it sounds different, it's not an exact copy, but that's a great way too. So there's all 5 patterns for you at amysflashcards.com. And I hope you enjoy learning those patterns. And like I say, I would learn one pattern at a time so you're not overwhelmed. But it's good to know all 5. And I'll put the root notes on the patterns, also a letter R, so you know the root notes. And when you're doing particularly rock or blues, those root notes are very helpful. Because when you end your lick, you don't have to end every lick with a root note. But like that lead I did a moment ago, that was the lead note. I ended on that G. I was in the key of G, and I ended right there, see? Ended right there, root note. So, happy guitar playing, and have fun playing lead. God bless you. Yeah, the charts are on amysflashcards.com. You can find all 5 of those lead patterns I just gave you, so you can take your time learning them. All right.